And now in terms of the interplay with markets, I mean, Steve, the market usually is going to look for something specific that it needs to reprice, maybe in any of these geopolitical events, as opposed to just a feeling or some kind of a guess of what it's going to mean down the road. So what did you read today's market action as in relation to this?
Everybody just backed off. Buyers really, this was something that we've never seen, right? So no one knew what to make of it. It was the end of the month. You had a large pension rebalance. Everyone took their fingers off the buy buttons. Gave it a little bit of a rest. They came in late in the day. But we don't know. It's so manic.
Yeah.
Does he show up at Mar-a-Lago? Does he show up next week? Is there a phone call? Is there something that happens in a 24, 48, 72-hour time period? President Trump wanted a reason to distance himself. Mm-hmm. Remember that tweet that was super aggressive against Zelensky? Then he backed off from it. I think he almost wanted this to happen. So does it do something to the overall markets? I think people are just going to take a hiatus, take a little bit of a breather. Remember, it was month end. I think people would probably, news stories are going to be cycling over for the next 2 days. Let's see on Monday, Tuesday where it falls. We do have Tariff Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So that might take a little bit of the focus off of this.
Courtney, the setup was interesting, too, right? The market was down 4.5% coming into today. Mm-hmm. It was getting a little bit overdone, maybe to the downside. Oil's been tame. Rates are down. So, in other words, it wasn't just like this came out of the vacuum and we were at all-time highs to react to. I guess the question is, should investors be incorporating this in any specific way to their market outlook, to their portfolio strategy?
I wouldn't say yet, right? I think this is just so new. We don't know how this is going to play out by any means. And I think coming into this, what a lot of people don't realize, and we're talking to all of our clients, is the fact that Europe has actually been outperforming the U.S. this year. When you hear Trump talking about America first and we're going to put tariffs on all these other countries, I think a lot of people who aren't following this day to day do not realize that that's been happening. And even today, if you looked at the European indexes, they also sold off like right after that conference, but also just came right back up by the end of the day. So I think a lot of this, there was that knee-jerk reaction. But I think it's been positive to see that the markets have been reacting a lot less to these political headlines coming out of D.C. And I think that's what it is there has been so many of these. This one is probably more extreme than others. But the fact that markets are taking a pause, I think is a good thing that they're looking at fundamentals, not just political headlines.
Karen, is that the way it feels to you, that is the market overstimulated and therefore just kind of shuts down on it? Or have we priced it in here and there?
I feel like it was theater somewhat, right? As we all said, we've never seen anything like this. And you'd certainly be surprised to see it in that open forum that it was, specifically designed to have the press there, right? So we saw it right when he came in, tariffs right away, and then backed off a few days later. So you'd sort of you can't just follow whatever the shiny thing of the moment is, because it may not be shiny in 2 days. So let's see. But I think that it's tiring, though. It's tiring for investors. And I think also it does weigh on sentiment for some CEOs, right? How do we know how to gauge our business? How do we know what kind of inventories we need? How do we know what tariffs we may not face? How do you prepare for that? And that's hard.
To your point, defense stocks, you would have thought they would have rallied more when he said, paraphrasing, you're on the precipice of World War III, you're on the brink of World War III. You would have thought defense stocks would have rallied a little bit more. I'm long MP. That one did rally because the reason why they were in the White House Oval Office was because of rare material.